and obviously this is YouTube, but I'm going to go Facebook Live now. I've just ran in the door, I've still got my club suit on and still trying to get things organised. I wish the team was organised today, we were poor today, dear me. If you're a Borough fan, please give us your thoughts and your views, get involved, text us, messages, and find out and tell us what exactly you've seen today. We're going to go live now. Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and thanks as always to the sponsors, Heroes and Legends, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Galaxy Blinds, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering, TGM Cars, Dovecot and Ultrabuild. Thanks sincerely to them for over the years supporting me and doing things like this. The team today was a surprise, without a shadow of a doubt. I do the radio on a Monday, I do my Facebook Lives, I do my YouTube, and I do my podcast on a Monday. And I says if McGree did not start after being on the bench at Watford, then going in international duty, and then returning, he was a must-starter today. Don't tell me, oh, he's jet-lagged. Well, his jet-lag only go one way. He flew to Australia and he played for Australia. He comes back, he's on the bench. When he comes on today, he doesn't go on the left, he goes into the middle of midfield. So for me, I don't get this McGree. Something doesn't sit right with me. I might be totally wrong, way off the mark, but I don't know how. Because last season he was in and out the team, he got taken off 4 games in the bounce. This season he started the season against Swansea, and then he was missing, injured, and then he returned for 2 games, which we won, and then he was on the bench just before the international. Was it just by fluke, or was it designed? Some people were insinuating we were putting him on the bench our last game because there were big games, World Cup qualifiers for Australia. I don't believe that's the case. It can't be. I don't give a flying about Australia. I'm sure you don't. I'm a Borough lad. Well, adopted Borough lad. Nearly 40 years here. I'm a Borough fan. This is the bread and butter for the players. I realised that as a player, I was international with the Republic, but this is the bread and butter. But anyway, he goes, he comes back, and he finds himself on the bench again. So it was Deng, Borges, Van der Berg, Edmondson and Allen with the back line. Hamilton, Morris, Hackney and Doak. So Hamilton and Doak were on the flanks. Azaz and Latte Laugh. Subs with Saul, Bryn, Belazer, Clark, McGree, Bazog, Jones, Dick Steele, Foz and Conway. What did I see? Not a lot, to be honest. I think it was arguably the worst performance of the season that I've witnessed. Frustrating, disjointed, fragile, passing at times was awful, poor decision making. When we got wide, we get balls in the box, but the majority of our daisy cutters mean on the grass and were near post, and not one striker was anticipating and going across the front post. So the ball's on the right with Doak, he whips it in. The striker is told, one of them at least, to go across the keeper, across the front post, and but the keeper was collecting them time and time again from left and right. And the finishing made a couple of chances early doors. We didn't put them to bed. We didn't score them. And lo and behold, the goal we conceded, the first goal, infuriating. I'll backtrack the people that's getting involved. If you went to the game, I use the word fanning about. I'm not going to apologise for that. Messing about at the back. Fanning about at the back. We're used to doing that. We've did that since Carrick came in. Every division does it. Every club does it. I'm not a fan of it. No, we're not very good at it. So today, instead of, because it's ingrained into our minds, play along the back, drag them in, play around them, I get all that. But they say we're not very good at it. So today, instead of going the old fanning about and blowing the pants off everybody, we decide that we're going to play it a couple of times and then we're going to play it forward. I'm a fan of that. But because it's ingrained into us that I could play a 90 pass at square. Square, 4 against 1 centre forward. Throughout my life. We decide to play balls forward now, which is a good thing, but a bad thing. Because we're not good at it. We've not done it before. First time we play it, gets caught out, bang, back of the net. We're 1-0 down. Then the next 2 balls, we try that pass again. Caught out again. We got off the hook. But then we lose a goal a few minutes before half time. That knocks the guts out of us, the stuffing out of us, and On the day, any criticism that comes the players' way, we just have to accept it as players. I'm not a player, but the players have to accept it. The criticism. There was a few boos ringing around at half time. I'm not a fan of booing or getting in players' backs 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, but when you lose a goal, when you're 1-0 down, you try to get the half-time whistle, and lo and behold, you lose another goal, the fans, the natives are going to get restless, and that's what happened today. So, cannot sit here and defend indefensible. Defensively poor, going forward poor. Wide positions, Doak was, for me, man of the match, but his final delivery, still, sometimes it was off. On the left, I don't think the boy Hamilton really into it. Up front, Latty Laugh and Azaz. I said if we don't score today, well, I'm saying now, who replaces him? But neither scored not in playing 10 games. Azaz has played 10 games. Some people are saying, what do you see in Azaz, Benny? I don't see anything. I think Azaz technically is good football. He's an international player for the Republic. His movement's good, but he still checks, gets a shot off, gets blocked time and time again. If you've not scored in your class as a striker, I don't care what you've done. Whether you've ran 100 miles, made 100 tackles, 20 passes. I'm only want to see your stats as a goal. All this stat rubbish, this and that, and how many miles. And no, your stats should be in how many goals. Azaz has got none in 10. Latty Laugh has got none in 10 not in play, but he's got one for this season, and that was from a penalty spot. Big, what's his name? Bazog, he come on second half, went on the left side. I think he was coming as a centre forward thinking player. He scored none. Conway came off the bench. I don't know why he's on the bench. He should be playing as well. He has scored 2. So between 4 forward thinking so-called strikers, we've got about 2 or 3 goals. It's not good enough. And it's going through the team now because the midfielder was thinking, come on. Hackney wasn't in it today either, but he must be looking thinking, I've scored 2 great goals recently. You's up front. You scored 1 between you. It's not exactly, it doesn't boost confidence and morale. And the defenders will be looking thinking, come on, are you going to get us a goal here? So if we do make a wreck, we still go on and get a chance to win the game. Right, I'm backtracking now, sorry. Kev Naylor says, well, Bernie, I think it's time to admit we need to bring in just another waste of my time today. Well, yeah. Andrew Smith says, hello, Bernard. I'm sorry, but you cannot defend indefensible. I've used those words myself right now, Andrew. That was absolute dire today. I think Carrick, it's a long-winded one, but I'm going to respect it because he's took time in putting it in. So today, I think Carrick needs to have a serious think about the personnel he is putting out. Why on earth is McGree sat on the bench week after week? Surely he still can't be injured. If you're injured, you don't go on the bench. If you travel internationally, you're not injured. You may, and this thing about, I half thought today he could put him on the bench and say he's jet lagged. Well, jet lag doesn't work one way. He flew there to Adelaide, wherever the game was in Australia. Jet lag kicks in, but he's still playing there. He comes back, he's on the bench. I don't get it. If McGree cannot get into the team on Wednesday after today, he might as well rip his 4-year contract out and walk out and head back to Australia. Because if he can't get in the team now, after today, who is it again? It's Andrew Smith. He carries on by saying, surely, sorry, but Azaz doesn't do it for me. He should be on the bench at best. I don't see the fixation with, I'll be honest, I think he's a good lad. I hear he's a nice guy. He's nice in the eye. But you need to produce. Your winger needs to cross. A striker needs to score. That's why he's called a striker. Defenders and keepers have to keep clean sheets. So Azaz doesn't do it for me. He should be on the. I agree with that. And by the way, if Azaz is playing up front on Saturday behind Latty Laugh, well, I'd have to question Michael Carrick. I say, what is he thinking of, and what is making them pick him? Managers are favourites, I know that through experience, what we managers. We all know they've got favourites, but Azaz up until now, 10 games without a goal, he must have something that Carrick sees that I don't see. I'm not being derogatory, I'm just being honest. Oh, and how does Edmondson in getting in the team ahead of Clark? Big Clarky, I think, is hard done by. We brought Edmondson in, another body, but Big Clarky was doing nothing wrong. Big Clarky was doing well. When he first came in last season, I was thinking, don't know about this guy, looks a bit stiff and not robotic, not very mobile. But he reads the game well, he challenges, he can pick a pass, he can come out of defence. So yeah, Clarky's hard done by. But Edmondson's in there with Van der Berg. And today, obviously, it'll put a bit of pressure on that partnership. Big Clarky might be in on Wednesday. So it's absolutely criminal, he says. Finally, I asked you after the last game if you thought Latty Laugh's head has been turned with the interest from Ipswich. You says no. Are you still standing by that? I have to politely disagree. I'm all for disagreement. That's what life's about, disagreeing and putting your own point of view over. You don't have to agree with mine. I don't have to agree with you. I have to politely disagree. It's stick him in the reserves and give Conway a run of games up there with Foz behind. Carrick needs to address these issues and fast. Teams above are looking at us and picking up points. And now if we aren't careful, we'll be in the bottom half of the table. As always, thanks for doing the lives after the games. I fully respect and appreciate your opinions. Thanks. So, thanks and honesty. Yeah, I like to be honest. Andrew Smith. Latty Laugh, head was turned. Yeah. But as I say, it's not just about that. Is it a different partner? It changes over several games it's chopped and changed. So, you cannot straight up a partnership. And then the right winger was Jones, now Doak's there. And on the left, it's chopped and changed. McGree's been in. Today, Hamilton was in. The big Berzog came on and played left side. So for me, and I know Latty Laugh came off. So chopping and changing all the time, for me, is not the cure and the way forward. The cure is, Carrick, get your best team, get a winning team, a balanced team. Today, with all the subs come on, they were playing everywhere. McGree doesn't play central midfield. He came on and they took Morris off and put him in the middle, alongside Hackney. Big Berzog, I thought he came as a centre forward. He's on the left wing. We were changing players all over the shop. Settle teams away forward for me, but we have to find the winning formula. And at the minute, we're playing 10 league games, 4 wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws. We're 4 points off the top 6 and 3 points. I think it's 3 points off the bottom 3, or the other way around. No, I think it's right. 4 points off the top 6. I think it's 3 off the bottom 6. So, it's a turbulent start. People out there, the players we brought in, didn't let anybody go in the window. Everybody's predicting this is the season, we're going to do it. I still believe we're good enough to finish top 6, but we really seriously have to get our act together and start doing the business. And if Latty Laugh is dropped the next game and Azaz is dropped, there's no room for going and knocking on Carrick's door. What do you say? I've not scored a goal in 10, but I'm playing well. No, you're a striker. And I don't see the good performance. I don't know what Michael Carrick sees, to be honest. There's a vexation with Zaz. I'm not picking Zaz. I'm picking in McGree as well. I'm picking a lot of things, picking holes in things that I see. If I was Azaz and I'm dropped Wednesday night, I'd have been surprised to play the day. 9 games in, no goals. 10 games in now, double figures, no goals. If I'm out the team, I can't go and complain and knock his door down. There's no room for an argument. And Latty Laugh's the same. 1 penalty, converted, that's it. Open play, no goals. Couple of chances today, fluffed them. Conway must start midweek. For me, McGree, if he doesn't start, then there's a rabbit off. There's more than meets the eye. I don't get the whole McGree. I keep going on about McGree because he's the best player I think we've got. Well, in my opinion, and I'll go with my opinion. I know that we've got. And he came off the day trying to make an impression, but it was too much, too late. Even Bernie, player for player, I wouldn't have swapped any of their players for any of ours. This is Matt Weta, who's a regular contributor. But as a team, Bristol kept things simple. They did, to win comfortably, unlike us, who do the opposite and overcomplicate everything. This is down to Carrick, and he has to go. And let's not forget that Bristol didn't even have the manager on the touchline. Yeah, there was tragic event in the manager of Bristol, so he stepped away today, and the caretaker came in, and I thought it's a with the guy. But yeah, they didn't have a manager, it was a caretaker. We need a manager who can get, there's no managers, it's coaches, who can get the best out of a decent bunch of players and and kick them up the arse, some up the arse when they're fanny about. I agree with that, but I think Carrick on this 2 week, although a lot of players were in international duty, I think he has what? Stop fanning about, move it quicker. We did that, and we didn't go back, you know, left to right, right to left. We try to pierce it and go forward, which is a good thing. But because we're not used to it, we've been doing this square passing, fanning about for 3 years. Play it forward's a more different ball. It's a more difficult ball. It has to be a more accurate ball. I'm even hesitating. A more accurate ball. And we didn't do it. And we got caught. The first goal, ball straight to them. Messed about, bang, goal. And then the next couple of balls were poor balls. We try to play them forward. The more we do it, we should get better at it. But we've not done it for 3 years, so just to think it's all going to fall into place today with a couple of weeks on the training field, I'm only presuming, because I've not seen those kind of balls being played. For me, that's a better ball than playing it square. That's just boring, laborious. Whether the leather away in the ball. And then we pass it 10. Again, we're 2-0 down. Time, the clock's running away. We still keep possession of the ball as if we're winning. They all go into 2 banks a 5 and we can't break them down. Frustrating's the word. If I was a player, the things I say in the lounge and after the game and on here, if I was a player on something like this, I'd be saying the exact same things. The players now might think, and some of the younger generation might think, oh, he just goes on now, he sits there. I would be saying the same if I was Azaz sitting here, I'd be saying, do you know what? I can't put up a fight here. If I get dropped, I deserve it. I've not scored a goal. I've done it in the past. Went to manager and says, look, if you drop me, I get it. I'm having a nightmare. These things happen. It's sport. That's what happens. But we need to be honest and upright and forthright. We're not doing the business up front. It's not even an opinion. It's statistics. Statistics don't lie. I'm fed up hearing he runs 100 mile. He puts 100 tackles. He heads X amount of balls. I don't give a flying. Clean sheets and scoring goals. That's the stats. Spot on McGree, 100% Bernie. Mark, it does my head in. I don't know the boy McGree. I've never even met him. I've seen him pass. I don't know him. But I'm just miffed with the whole McGree situation. I don't even know why he signed a new contract. I thought he'd have been off in the summer. Obviously, I do know why, because the club will make more money because of a longer contract. McGree will make more money whether he likes it here or not. He did go on record the other week as saying he loves it here. Well, start playing for... Well, I don't know, it's because you're not getting picked, but start putting up a fight then. Not in Carrick's door saying, why don't the two of them come out and say the reason why he's on the bench? As I said earlier, if McGree can't get in this team after today, he's never going to get in. He might as well pack his bags and go back to Aussie. Phil Lawton says, same old fanning around at the back, Bernie. Do the same things, expect the same results. Yeah, Einstein, more or less, being Bammy is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. Yeah, we had 60% possession today. But do you know what it was? At the back, in their own half. It's not productive. Having possession means nothing. You need to put teams to the sword. How is Bazog getting on before McGree? Well, I questioned it. I said he'll take Azaz off, which he did. I says, McGree will come on, go on the left to take Hamilton off. Takes Hamilton off, McGree's still on, puts Bazog on the left. I don't get it. Don't get me wrong, look, if I'm Michael Carrick, I'm one track mind. I don't care, guys like me or the fans, what they're saying, what they're doing. I stick to what I believe in. He sees them every day at training. Well, he didn't last 2 weeks, being in international duty. But come on, McGree has never played in the middle of midfield. McGree, for me, was still the best number 10. If given the opportunity. For some obscure reason, we don't even try it. And this is the time to try it because Azaz isn't cutting it. So now, why don't we get McGree in there? Azaz, Wednesday night, you're out, son. McGree, you're in there. You're in there, number 10. I think he'll be a superstar at number 10. We'll find out. So Morris went to... Yeah. So how is Bazog getting... before McGree, I mentioned that. McGree should have started. Morris went to America and played, so what's the difference? Look, I'm not buying into it. I don't even know what the reason is. If anybody's listened to local radios or heard quotes on TV about... he must have been asked why McGree didn't start. Please tell me so we can talk about it. What reason is he given? He can't be injured because he's travelled the world, the other side of the world, to play for his national team. If you're injured, like some people were surmising against Watford, he shouldn't be travelling internationally. And does jet lag only hit you going one way? You don't get jet lag coming back? Or the way we're acting is if jet lag doesn't happen when you go there, it happens when you come back and then you have to go on the bench. But you're right, Morris went to America. That's a fair old distance, good 7-8 hours, even more, depending where you are. I don't get the whole situation. Stephen Bentley says, Bernie saying same thing every week, not good enough. I'm saying the same things. You're giving the same questions and answers, and we're seeing, it's because we're seeing the same thing. It's getting boring now. Watford, 2 weeks to obviously sit in it. I never thought for a minute we were going to lose the game. We went 1-0 up. They had holes all over the back line. We exploited them but didn't put them to the sword, scoring goals. And I would have lost everything. I'm not a betting man, but on that day, watching it, I'd have lost everything. We were by far the better team. Even when they scored the goal, I thought 1 each. Not the end of the world, 7 out of 9 points. Brilliant. And what happens? We lose a goal and we lose the game. 2 weeks rest. Somebody says to me today, the players look tired. Possibly the international players might be tired. But it's not an excuse. We've got a 28-man squad. If you can drop McGree, you can drop anybody. So it's going to be a long old season for Stephen Bentley. Long old season. If things don't change, players we bought in have they actually made the team better. Stephen always say give the lads 14 games. We're 10 games in, and I'm not convinced. I'm not overly critical because we're 10 games. Once we come to about 14 games, but I think the next 5 games will define our season as to where we're going. And then in January, that will rubber stamp it where we're going. Because if we're doing well and somebody leaves in January, somebody of any ilk or we think he's a good player, then that would knock us back. I need to read some of these, sorry. Let's see. Chris87 says, can't win with games with possession football and don't score. Everyone has sussed us out. And McGree not playing, he can't stick with the same team. Bernie, sick and tired of this. Carry on a knockabout rubbish. Andrew Press says, is it Press? I was looking for a good one today, which we would have been used to as a stepping stone. Sorry, it's disappeared. Let's see. Sorry, mate. Hold on. As a stepping stone towards Wednesday night, but oh dear, it was embarrassing. God help us on Wednesday. And Scott 94 says, Bernie, I've heard Latty Laugh didn't get an international call-up, so went on holiday to rest up. Absolutely shocking. Chris says, serious, get Coburn back. No, I think Coburn's got it, he's signed so far. No one has the balls to be direct and shoot a goal. That was another thing, like a goals. We keep trying to pass it. And then Borough 96 says, we need goals, play Foz up front, best strike we have. Oh, I'm not going to buy into this Foz nonsense. I've heard numerous people, you're not the only one, and you've got your opinion, I respect it. But I can't agree. Where are you seeing Foz? Foz has scored a couple of good goals for Borough. But where do you get this? He's a great goal scorer. I've not seen it. How many goals has he scored since he arrived? How many games has he played since he arrived? He's playing right flank. That's where he usually plays. Up front. Well, that'd be an indication how bad we are if he's going to be up front when we've spent money in Conway and Latty Laugh knocked X amount of million back supposedly. That will sum us up front. By the way, I'm not saying we shouldn't give him a go, but don't come out and say he's the best striker at the club. I don't watch training sessions. There's training ground players and there's players who do it on a Saturday. You might have been to loads of training sessions and see him hitting the net regular. I've not seen it and I've watched every Borough game, so I'm not buying into that he's the best we've got at the club. What, better than Latty Laugh, who knocked in 20 odd last season? I'm not buying into that. And by the way, he was off the radar injured. I don't know his injury, and I'm glad he's back. But for how long? Keith Williams says, Bernie, I've said it to you before, Dieng will lose us a chance of promotion with the stupid messing on at the back. Carrick needs to tell him to get rid of the ball. Look, Michael Carrick is in charge and gives the players details and what to do and when to do it. And if he's encouraging to play along the back line, fanning about, I call it, then that's Carrick's instructions. The lads will take it on board and play what he wants to do. But I keep going back to Chelsea last year in the Cup. I don't care, Carrick, Brian Clough, when he was at his peak, anybody, if they were telling us to play a certain way, like Chelsea in the Cup when we were 1-1-0 for the first leg, and I went to London that night to see the Borough, we fannied about the back, got caught 4 times. We were 4-1 down. The game was over at half time. Somebody like a Howson or a Clark who played that night should have said, I don't care what Carrick's saying, I don't care whatever coach or manager we've got in there, we ain't doing it. We're in the spotlight, he's under the bench, undercover, we're getting battered, embarrassingly, with Chelsea, a team I despise. And we kept doing it. So, this messing about the back, Carrick might say one thing, but when the players are know in their heads and can see after the first goal, it's not working, we stop it. Stop it. Every team's trying to play the Pep way. We can't. Pep's get the best budget, the best players on the planet, and the best at it. I see time and time again, whether it's Championship football on the telly, Premier League football, I see some of the best players and the best teams doing it and getting caught out. They might get away with the majority, but only takes 1 or 2. Today, we get done again. It's time Saul Bryn got a chance, Tony Wedley. I'll tell you what, Saul Bryn, I think Saul signed a new contract, despite being in and out of the team and out on loan and here, there and everywhere. He's a local lad. Wherever he's went, Scotland or here in the south, he's did well. He's won Player of the Year, he's had awards, he's had clean sheets, but never got an opportunity. This might be his opportunity. What have we got to lose? You know, I think Dieng's in there because he's supposedly his footwork. Well, his footwork at the minute, he might have his boots on the wrong feet because some of his distribution. Maybe that's why he plays it short, because if he hits it long, it goes to the opposition. I remember people were critical of Matt Swatzer. They wanted him to play it to the fullbacks because he couldn't kick the ball long. And by the way, Swatzer was a great keeper, but he wasn't very good at kicking the ball long. I agree about Dieng. He's getting beat from short straight at him too. Yeah, he flapped it one a day, Mark. There was one he came over and he flapped at it. He was very lucky to get off the hook. Phil Otten says, leaving the game, Bernie. My friend wanted Carrick out. I disagreed. He then floated the idea of Mowbray coming back, to which I thought was daft. But now maybe not. Was given a poor hand last time. Could get a tune out of this team. I'm going to be honest, I would not get involved. Michael Carrick, I respect. I'm still a fan of Michael Carrick, but he does have to change certain things. And he has to change the strikers now. 10 games without a goal between 2 of them in open play. It's a sackable offence. Not even on the bench, it's a sackable offence. In my opinion, in my head. My ratio at Middlesbrough, not blowing my trumpet, was 1 every 2.5 games. But I did hit a patch where I couldn't have hit the main stand at the Riverside. First time I've ever experienced it. 11 games, I think it was 10, 11 games. I was garbage, couldn't train well, wasn't scoring in training, wasn't looking forward to games. I think I was even looking back, reflecting, probably a wee bit of depression. That's not an excuse, never used that then. But I remember Bruce Rioch, and this is where the man management kicks in. We were playing Aston Villa, I might have told this story before, playing Aston Villa live on the television on a Sunday, which was unusual. First time we'd been on the telly for a long while. We're staying at the 3 Tons Hotel in Durham, and all the speculation in the papers is Slaven's getting dropped. Despite I've got X amount of goals, but I've not scored for 11. Totally get the stick and the flack coming my way. So anyway, papers were insinuating I'm going to get dropped, and we're eating my pre-match, and the kit man, a lad called Joe Hunt, God rest him, he came over, and I'm sitting with all the lads having my pre-match before we travel to Essen Park. Oh, the gaffer wants to see you. So I go over, and Bruce and Colin Todd are at the table. So I sits down, and he goes, why do you think I've called you over? I says, well, I don't know. He says, come on, Bernie, why have I called you over? I says, well, do you know what? I usually put up a fight if I think I'm right, and I'll fight you all day long verbally. I says, you're going to drop me. I have to hold my hands up. I've been garbage. You went, no. I'm playing you today. I believe in you. Gave me a rub at the back, stroked my ego. That game, I had a couple of chances, keeper saved them. There was one that I hit the goalkeeper, he parried at the Holgate end, and Alan Kernigan, I went for the ball that parried out, and Kernigan got before me, and we won the game. The next game, I was back in track. Now, maybe Carrick needs to try a trick like that. You know, Latty laugh. If it was me and I'm playing like after 10 games, 1 goal, Latty laugh, come here, listen. I thought about dropping you, but I'm not, because tell you what, you're the top striker at this club. Stroke his ego. I know you wanted away and it never happened, but, you know, it's business. We get it. It might happen in January. It might happen at the end of the season. Come on, I want you to turn on the bit and stroke his ego and get him going. He might be doing that, but he does look a bit flat at the minute, Latty laugh. Dynamics are out of whack, and they're only strikers if they score. Exactly. That's why you're called a striker. The defenders are likely to score lately. Big Clark has got 2, more than some of our strikers. How many goals would Chuba have scored if he was playing? Well, Chuba, there's still opportunities getting made up. It's not as if we're not creating chances, but I used to get in the position, if I missed, I didn't worry. I thought, I'm in there, I've got a chance, I missed it, but I'll get the next one. I don't know if the modern player has that mentality. Maybe it grinds them down. Maybe they don't bother about goals. I think a lot of strikers, so-called strikers, don't even think about goals these days. Leaving the game, Bernie. So Phil, I don't want to get involved. Michael Carrick's the manager. I still believe he can turn it. We're not dead and buried. We're only 4 points off the top. Is it? Yeah, 4 points off the top 6 and 3 off the bottom 6. It's very tight. Any team can beat anybody. But today was the worst game of the season, and that is alarming against a Bristol team whose manager had to take a back step because of personal reasons, and I pray for him and his family. But yeah, it was a non-event. I used the word boring again. No, boring. You've got to watch a football game. You might be entertained. Sit back, pass. 100 passes, go nowhere. Flatten to deceive. It's time Dieng was dropped. Going to cost his promotion, Bernie, Kevin Scott. Was Dieng to blame for any of the goals? I don't think it was. No, the bad ball out was the reason. Or was it him that played it? Look, Dieng has got he's not very good at passing the ball out. And as I say, we're going over old ground. We know we have to change it. I thought we did try to change this square passing to try and play it forward. Excuse me. But that's a lot more difficult. And we got caught out 3-4 times. Mark says, Azaz is a good right foot, but garbage left foot. He used to practice like Craig Johnson did when he had a weaker foot. Azaz, if I was talking to the lad, I've said a lot to him and wish him all the best start of the season. Don't know the kid. But I would say to Latty Laugh, Azaz, Bazog, Conway, listen, the official training finishes at 1. We train Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday if there's no midweek game. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. After the official training, I would urge these, well, they shouldn't need us. They know they're having a bad time in a drought. Get a bag of balls, bag each. There'll be loads of goals at the training ground at Haworth, and stay behind and practice. Get the young keepers in goal. Get the young reserve wingers. Get balls in the box. And do an hour a day, every day. I've done it myself. I did it when I was scoring goals, and I certainly did it more when I wasn't scoring goals. It's the only way you can improve and get back into the groove. The prime example is Hackney. A couple of weeks ago, Hackney went out there and says that he'd been staying behind, that Grant Ledbetter had been practising with him. Grant's not a noted goal scorer, but he can still there and chip balls into him and get him to finish. That's the only way to get back in form. But I don't know if they're doing that. I don't know if modern players even think like that. They might think, well, I'm still on my 30 grand a week. I'll head off on my jalopy and head home to the big 5-bedroom mansion. I don't give a flying. I don't know. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking right over the board here. If you're a striker 10 games in, you've not got a goal, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because the chances are coming. You need to start putting them away. So what are your thoughts then, Bernie? What needs to happen? Andrew McLaughlin. Azaz, for me, I would put McGree in with Azaz's. Obviously, Doak's fine. Morris and Hackney's fine because Hackney, he wasn't in it today, but he scored a couple of crackers recently. Otherwise, he would have been under threat as well, in my opinion. On the left, still a bit of a conundrum. I would play Conway and Latty Laugh, and I would push McGree back out left, but I would still like to see him as a number 10. Doak on the right. Defensively, left-sided player, Borges is still settling in. He's joined a team that's huffing and puffing at the minute, and he's huffing and puffing with us. As one of the guys says earlier, that Big Clark, I thought Big Clark, he was doing well, and he just got dropped like a pack of cards, and then came Edmondson. That's maybe something you look at. Ailing, do we bring in one of the younger lads? Dick Steele. Played Dick Steele at Leeds, brilliant, came in, scored a great goal, played a great game on the bench the next game. Sort of disappeared, was he even on the... Oh, he was on the bench today. I'll tell you what, talking about players and defending, Ailing should be sent off, in my opinion. I'm not a referee. I don't really get involved with referees because dodgy decisions every day of the week, dodgy VAR decisions in the Premier every week. But Ailing had a yellow card, had another hefty challenge, and then he wiped a lad out. It was assault, and he got away with it. Good luck to him for that, but Carrick did address it and took him off because he knew he was getting sent off eventually. Sick and tired of the hipster football now. The goals were gift-wrapped, this is with David Longstaff, gift-wrapped with a bow and top. Why can't Carrick see that we can't do it? It's insanity. Yeah, that's the word that Einstein used. Insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. As I say, 10 games in, you look at the stats that really matter. The goals for is still not good enough, especially with the so-called centre forwards. We're still letting goals in and poor goals at that, and we really have to up our game. There's big games coming. Wednesday, Chris Wilder comes back. That puts an edge to the game. I don't know what kind of reception he get, but he'll come back and you get your dollar. They get beaten Friday night with Leeds United. I didn't watch the game. I was out. I was doing a gig in the Birdcage. Thanks to everybody came to the Birdcage. Ian Baird, who was my guest today, was doing a talk last night. He made a 7-hour drive, Ian Baird. He lives in Southampton. 7 hours, says the roadworks were a nightmare. Anyway, yeah, that's a rant. John Chester says, biggest problem we have is Azaz and Hampton. We can't carry second-rate players at this level. McGree rested. Question marks. Anybody heard about McGree? Why was he on the bench? Why was he on the bench against Watford before the international break? Why was he on the bench today coming back from the international break? I don't know the answers. Do you know the answers? Have you heard any quotes for Carrick? Look, I only listen to national radio. I don't listen to local radio because everybody's in bed with everybody and everybody defends everybody. I'm local, but I'm just me. And I'm a Borough fan. And I love Middlesbrough. That's why I've been here 40 years. But I've got an opinion and I say what I see. And today was simply unacceptable, not good enough, no fire in the bellies, looked lethargic, passing was awful, couple of chances created, one was tame, and 2 goals that were awful defensively. Is it Mally? Mally Henley, hiya Mally. Very poor today, Bernie, can't keep a clean sheet and can't score goals. Azaz and Latty Laugh should be benched against Sheffield on Wednesday. Would like to see Saul Bryn given a chance after signing a 4-year contract up the Borough. Why not? I've nothing against Saul Bryn coming in over Dieng. Dieng let 2 goals in today at home. The guys in front didn't help greatly, but I think at this minute in time, after Watford and after today, well, Watford, we were good. The thing is, against Watford, on the eye, we were good. They were rank. We were good. And we get beat. And then we come out today and produce a performance like that. Don't get me wrong, I've had duff games. My teams that I played in, and I was there 8 years, we had some garbage like today. Sometimes there's no reason, no rhyme. But we didn't mess about the back. And as Ian Baird says today, Ian Baird, if you don't know the younger viewers, Ian Baird played with me. He's my best striking partner at Middlesbrough. He had everything I didn't have. He was strong, aggressive, scored goals, great player, came from Leeds United. And he was saying, and he's right, this, he calls it messing about, I call it fanning about. Messing about the back. So, when the keeper plays it to left or right, what about, we were told under Bruce Rare, Colin Cooper, Gary Pattinson, if you can open it, so the ball comes to the keeper, you split wide, the two centre forwards in the middle, they will try and come and cover you eventually. You still get your centre backs to compete, so they have to be half and half. You get the ball, if you can open out, if I'm left back, open out, play up the flank. There you go. Whiz it by the midfielder in towards a Latte Laugh who's got pace, who can spin out wide and get the ball. Same on the right. Ailing, get it on his right, he can open it. If he can't play it there, get it back, opens up, then play up. We don't do that. I never see balls like that. I never see balls like that. That's the most obvious ball. Pace up front, the ball over the top, if it's in the air, and it's a 50-50 ball, 9 times out of 10, the big centre-half, big hairy-ass centre-halves at 6'5" are going to win it. So what about changing tack? Steady miss him out, goes to the fullback, open out, get it up the flank. And then everybody pushes out. It's simplistic, but it's so simple, we don't do it. Bollocks to resting players, the effing athletes. Flipping hell, John Chester. Very, well, he's not happy. And for obvious reasons. As I say, so the next few games for me will define as to where we're going. We really need to get our act together now. We've got some big games coming up. Sheffield Wednesday, not in this order, but you've got Coventry, you've got Norwich, a lot of big games coming up now. John, nice doesn't win games, Bernie. Azaz is too weak and too slow with the ball. Look, I'm not just cherry picking Azaz, and I think it's unfair to just point the finger at one guy. Latte Laugh scored one penalty, not scored, not playing 10. He's the top scorer last season. He was in and out of form, scoring goals sporadically. Then he got injured, came back. Last 4 months, amazing. I think he scored something like 12 and 14 games. He was amazing. And he kept the season alive last season. This season, bit of disruption, bit of rumour, and he's not fulfilled what he showed last season. And that was probably the reason we sold Akpom. Maybe the club thought, dear me, he might not replicate this next season. We'll sell him, get the money. Because if he does it, we can't cash in. New Latte Laugh, the way he's playing, is somebody going to come in January if he continues playing like this and not scoring goals? We might have missed the boat. Or the bike manager. Martin Sturman says, Foz and Conway to start. Latte is garbage, but Carrick sticks with him. Game after game. Why? He has not produced goods, Bernie, and he needs dropping. Thoughts? Well, Martin, you must have just joined us. Latte Laugh and Bazog and... look, the three strikers, Azaz, they cannot put up a fight to carry if they get dropped. No goals. If you don't score no goals in 10 in open play, you deserve to be dropped. I would know that. I would accept that. I wouldn't like it, but I would certainly accept it. I told you the story about Bruce Rare. I thought I was getting dropped, but he never. Good man management. If he drops me, I go even more down the drain. I don't know what Carrick's team talks are like or dealing with individuals. But that's what I'd be saying to Latte Laugh and even Azaz. Listen, we know you've not scored, but come on, it's about time now. You really need to score a goal here. Come on, I believe in you. You're a good player. You know, are you doing a bit behind the scenes, training on your own? I'd be geeing them up. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just not happening. But if it's not happening, the only way to change it is to change personnel and get somebody else in. Conway, I think, will definitely play in Wednesday. And if Azaz doesn't go, I might even be... Sorry. If McGree doesn't start Wednesday, I might even be tempted to go down pitch side to Carrick and confront him and say, what's going on, Michael? What exactly is going on with McGree? He must play him. And I tell you what, the less he plays McGree... So he played one game start of his season. Did we win? Swansea. And then he came back after injury and played a couple of games and we won. Then he didn't play against Watford. Well, he's on the bench, but we lost. And then he's not played the game. If he doesn't pick McGree, look, it's not all about McGree, but it is at the minute for me. He's the most important player we've got. If he doesn't play, he's making a rod for his own back, Michael Carrick. if he doesn't play him on Wednesday night. Ludicrous. And by the way, mate, come on, he worked his backside off, closing down, harassing, typical McGree fashion. Didn't look as if he was injured to me, or jet lagged. Absolutely appalling. This is for Colin Ibbotson. Totally clueless up front. Laugh is terrible. A goal per chance ratio is ridiculous. And we always going to let goals in easily. I was up for the season, but now my patience has snapped. So Colin's already blown a gasket and we're only 10 games in. As I say, give it a 14. The next 4 we might win. Might win on Wednesday night. Gives us a... Saying that, when we go to Watford, that would have been 3 games in the bounce going into the international break. That would have been the biggest boost of all for me. And we threw it away. First 2 games were great. Beating West Brom, played very well. So, Colin, he's through the towel, and I think. Les the coach says, all we deserve, tippy-tappy trying to walk it in. Bristol get the ball, attack, go for the jugular, and score. No messing about. I tell you what, Leslie, I don't usually agree with you, Leslie, but yeah, that's a true reflection of... We've got all the ball, but they do the damage. Yeah, they do the damage. They didn't. They were switching it left, right, playing 1-2s, opening us up. They had a couple of times opened us up without finishing us off. And then when they get the first, then get the second, there's no return. And I tell you now, and I've played in games like this myself, we could have kept playing today until next Saturday. We were not going to score a goal today. It's when didn't matter what we did, we were turning, there were guys slipping, they were getting deflections, ricochets, and they weren't going in. Another day they might go in. It just wasn't happening today. Wayne Matthews says, Lucky Laugh needs dropping. How many chances does he need? McGree and Conway should have started and be good to see Clapp back in the team. Doak is an exciting player. Yeah, Doak for me is the one that really is flourishing. You know, he's in the international stage now, played against Portugal midweek, did fairly well. Did well the game before that. I think was it against Greece? But remember, he's 21, he's on loan. He's still got a bit to learn, but his game, he's forward thinking, he's got the step over, he's got the bit of pace. Despite being small, he's stocky, well built, he's aggressive. Some of his balls can be better, but that will come. But the balls, a couple of balls he did hit, daisy cutters on towards the near post. Someday, it looks bad when the keeper just collects him, dives down and collects him. A forward should be across that front post, getting in before the keeper gets there. Gambling, anticipating, on their toes. A couple of our players were flat-footed, weren't even in the 6-yard box. Paul Nicholas says, Lucky Laugh and Azaz had the chances, missing gilt-edged chances, game after game. Time for change up front, Foz and Conway, up front, McGree or Gilbert just behind. Sick of the excuses now, missed chances, costing us more than anything. Should have been 2 up before Bristol scored. I agree with that, Paul. So Paul Nicholas has given his opinion. I agree with that. The thing is, a striker, you should never be afraid to miss. I've missed sitters. Of course I have. But you should never be afraid to miss if you're a real striker. Because you know another chance will go, and as soon as you score that one, the floodgates should open up, you get your confidence, then you're on the crest of a wave. Then it goes for no goals in 6, you've got 1, and then you get 2, and another 1, and then you might go a game without scoring, then you get a hat-trick the next game. That's the way it should go, if you're a confident individual and striker. But the strikers must start demanding as well from the guys round about. I didn't see a lot of service for the left today. You know what I mean? They played John Hampton on the left. Didn't really make an impact. Again, he's a young lad. He's for Man City. Still settling in. Jamie Gittin says, Bernie, what is the obsession with playing out from the hut? Do you know, I don't get it, Jamie. We keep giving the ball away. And conceding stupid goals. We are not Man City. Jamie, as I say, it's not just Middlesbrough or Michael Carrick or the players. Every 10 minutes, every team tries to adopt this pass. I love football. I was a forward-thinking guy, loved scoring goals, loved attacking, touch, play, going forward. I wasn't into defending. But this pass, for me, isn't pretty football. It's blowing the arses off the public. The people around about me are saying, get it long, get it in the flanks, Get it away from our box. And I agree. I don't want to see the hoof Wimbledon style of old. Wimbledon used to get the ball. The guy, the younger viewers, guy called Justin Fashanu. Justin, he had a brother. Was it Justin? Anyway, Fashanu was second name. They were brother. One was up front. They used to get the ball and just hoof it. And they used to shout in the mixer, which meant in the mixer to this big 6'4" giant, well built like a brick shit house against two big hairy ass centre backs in the mixer, and they were all in it. Blood, noses bent, whatever. I'm not looking for that style of football, but I've explained the balls go wide, get up the flank. That's called football. I've done it myself. I used to play the left wing sometime. Signed Peter Davenport, Bernie, didn't enjoy it. Had a few exchange of words with Bruce at the time, although I loved Bruce. The ball would come wide, I would open up and play up there. So that for me is the ball. That drags the centre halves out, and the fullbacks need to really be aware of what's happening. And then the guys in the middle, like a hackney, can push forward and get up there and support for the balls that come in. Anyway, that doesn't happen. But this pass, it's all over the country. It's a pandemic. I born the public and wearing the leather off the balls. I don't want to see pass and doing nothing. I explained it in layman's terms the other week. Guy goes to, meets a bird, meets a girl, meets a lady, has a date, goes for a meal, gets new suit, tie, bit of aftershave, takes her out for a 4-course meal, a drink, goes back to the house. She says, there's the door, see you later. That's what we do. There's no end product. It's, we do all this build-up work, get to where it really matters, the business end, and that's it. Nothing. Damp squib. Dave Ditchburn says, it's down to the manager, coach. No manager, coach. Even if, and it is important that we get this manager-coach scenario, because a manager is different for a coach. It's down to the manager, even if we win, he would change the team the week after, and effing about the back does my head in. That's for Dave Ditchburn, so he's not messing about. I share your frustration. If I was playing, I'd be saying the same things. If I was in the dressing room, I'd be saying the same things, but I'd probably be telling Carrick this. I don't know if the modern player has got the, if they're allowed to say whatever at the manager, or they just get the money and head off, or they're passionate enough to have a go. I call it passion. Having a go and being fiery. If you care for something, whether it's your son, your daughter, whether it's school or studying exams or the sports people, when you have a go, that means you care. And you're concerned and you know that there's more to get out of them. I don't know if that exists now. You know, so, yeah, the game has moved on. Is it for the better? No, not in my opinion. If you're over a certain age, whether it's a manager, a coach, an ex-player, or the dinosaurs. No, we're no dinosaurs. If you think this game is better than the game I played in, and the games before me that I watched on TV and that, you're kidding yourself on. I would have to say you're easily pleased. I agree Bernie regarding McGree is the best player, yet he didn't start Watford off today. Gordon Rees. Gordon, don't get it. We have to come to the bottom why McGree doesn't get a game. Last year he was in and out the team, then he got injured, then he got taken off 4 games in the bounce, then he went in international duty, and there seemed a bit of a wedge in between him and Carrick. I'm speculating, I don't know, I'm not privy to it. I'm only guessing because I know what goes on behind the scenes. I've been involved in many speculation and no fisticuffs, argument and verbally, made the press, whatever. So it does go on. But if McGree cannot get a game and Wednesday night after that shambolic display today, he should pack his bags, rip his contract up. I know he wouldn't do that, plenty of money involved, but you know where I'm coming from. He's too good to be on the bench. And don't say he's injured when he flies to Australia, flies back, and don't say he's jet lagged, because I never seen Messi or Ronaldo, and they've flown all over the world with Portugal and Argentina and European football. I never seen them getting jet lag. There's only certain players that get jet lag. Nonsense. If they come out the jet lag line, it's bullshit. Absolutely, Bill. Foz, McGree, Clark and Conway starting on the bench today. Watson, Carrick's mind. Denny, Rosa. I don't know. Clark, as I say, was doing well and just get put by the wayside for no apparent reason. But obviously we signed a new player in Edmondson, so he was in. Do I agree with it? No, because Clark was doing well. I think players, although you sign them, should have to fight for the positions, not be handed them, fight for them. And Big Edmondson's not fought for his positions, he's been handed it on a plate. Foz, well, he's been out for so long, I actually forgot about him. Not being sarcastic, I did forget about him. He's back, so I'm not saying the striker, but he's good enough to get in the team and get an opportunity now that he's fit. And Conway, we signed him to score goals. He scored with a penalty. Again, Latty laugh, there's no way on this planet I'd have handed them it. If I'm the top scorer for last season, I would have took it. But that tells you the mentality of Latty laugh when he's handing the ball to a guy that's just walked in the door. But Conway had the confidence to take the ball and score the goal. And then his next goal, he scored 2 goals, was a great goal. That was a lovely goal. 1-on-1, kept his cool composure, slipped under the keeper. Well done to him. And he looks vibrant. I like him. Colin Ward says 20 shots, 2 on target. McGree seems to suffer jet lag on the return journey only. Exactly. Jet lag goes both ways. Heard a few blaming the referee. He missed a definite penalty for me, but he didn't miss a shot. I heard the criticism of the referee. Look, there was a couple of decisions I couldn't really see. There was one tackle second half. The lad brought one of the players down. Penalty, my mates next to me, penalty. I said, come on. You're seeing the same view as me. You can't see over the legs to see if it was a penalty. Contact. It looked a penalty, but I can't sit here and say it was. Was the referee... I thought he was hitty-missy. There was decisions he gave for, against I didn't agree with. But do not blame the referee. Okay, if you say the referee is bad, our team was bad. So, everybody was bad. The referee doesn't miss chances. The referee doesn't fanny about at the back. That's down to us. So let's take it. Don't be trying to pop it on to somebody else's. Say he's the reason. We're the reason. He might be part of it, but we're the biggest reason. There's only one of him. There's 11 of us. Well, 15, 16 of us, including the bench. Paul Nicholas says, can't believe the amount of balls we play across the box and no one busts a gut to get in the end of them. No one gambles. Well, that's the word I use, Paul. What you do, you get the ball wide. So if I'm a centre forward and I'm facing my midfielders, the ball comes to me. The idea is I shield it, play it wide, left or right. For me, predominantly left, I would play to the left wing. Give it to the left winger. Turn, try and get away from my centre half. The guy that's man-marking me, get away from him, dropping the shoulder. Go. And then gambling and anticipating that it's going to come in certain position. You might do it 10 times, 20 times, it doesn't happen. But that once you get away and the ball's perfect, you put it in the net. I don't see, we didn't do that today, definitely not. We were flat-footed, weren't anticipating, weren't on our toes. Yeah. I'm sorry about not reading these out. I had stuff to read out. I'll do it, excuse me, I'll do it in my Total BS podcast, which is Monday, broadcast every Monday. Get it in Apple speaker, get it all over. It's free. I do an interview, part 1 and 2, right throughout the season. Last week I had Matt Buck. Matt Buck played for us, came to Aston Villa. Very good technical player. And this week it's going to be Trevor Putney. Trevor Putney came from Ipswich, played with Norwich, came to Borough, broke his leg, but was a very good player. Character, funny. Part 1's on Monday, so if you want to listen to part 1 of Trevor Putney, you can. Ian Baird, excuse me. Ian Baird, who I've rated my best striking partner. I did a podcast with him today, so that'll be coming up in the coming weeks. And Terry Bywater, Paralympian, won about 7-8 medals. I've lost count of many medals. He's a basketball player. I've did one with him. He's based in Madrid. If you need encouragement or a lift, listen to Terry talking with his disabilities and what he's achieved and how he's went about life and grown up the streets of Middlesbrough. And now he's an international player playing for Great Britain and winning medals as a Paralympian. Yeah, so anyway, this week it's Trevor Putney and Pack 1 and 2 will be coming up, and then it'll be Terry Bywater, and then Berdon will be more. There's more lined up, so it's time up. So I'll read a couple more out. David Fletch says, Bernie, it's a shambles at the back, not scoring goals, and recipe for disaster. This looks like a Woodgate team to me, not a Carrick one. We don't look like scoring. Johnny Rowan says he's gone from UK to Oz to Japan to UK. No wonder he's on the bench today. Okay then. So if I did agree with that, Johnny, why did Messi and Ronaldo never get rested and they flew over the world with Argentina and Portugal? They never get rested. And you're saying that he flew from the UK to Aussie to Japan. He didn't make those journeys and get jet lagged before the Watford game. Why was he on the bench then? After playing the 2 previous games that we'd won. That might be a fair excuse. But the first one's not. Watford, no excuse. Some people were insinuating that Carrick's looking after him for the big game. Are you joking or what? If that was the case, he should be throwing the River Tees. I don't think that for a minute. Why would Carrick, the Middlesbrough coach, why would he look after an international player for his international country, it's not even England, it's Australia, over Middlesbrough? That'd be obscene. I would like to see Tony Mowbray given another chance, losing all confidence in Carrick for Dennis Highfield. I would say, and if I was losing confidence, I'd say I've nothing to lose. I'd give my opinion. But I still believe that Carrick can get it right. But to get it right, in my humble opinion, he has to get the settled team, start winning a couple of games, start going on a run of games, and start really breeding the confidence. And the guys that he's keeping faith in, he has to cajole them, get them doing the business, otherwise he's going to be the one that suffers. So he has to get his act together, and if he's like certain players and fancies them, and there's a couple of players he quite clearly does because they've not missed a game, I don't see it. And that puts a concern on Carrick, that he's playing players that maybe he's seeing something we don't, but the end product is the thing we all see, and that is goals, if you're a centre forward, and we're not seeing them. Terry Basco Brown says, we're playing this tippy-tappy football which is not working, and how is it possible in modern day football that it's not questioned? Where's the ref was from approximately 20 miles from Chippenham, what are we on about here? Bristol, and he used to be in the books. Also, why not swapping the wingers over if they aren't doing it from a reasonable position? That's good. I get that. I didn't get the other bit, Terry. I apologise. We're running out of time. I'm trying to rush things. But that's a fair point. Back in the day, before, after, whenever, you play left and right winger. And then if it wasn't working, they weren't getting the best of the full-backs, you would switch over. And you might even switch over again and again in the same game. Because if it's not working, if I'm a right winger up against the left back and it's not working, we switch over. And it's not happening on the other side, we switch over to see if we get a bit of joy. But that doesn't really happen now. The positions are set in stone. Adrian Patterson saying, now Bernie, first time I have been on this season. This McGree situation's baffling. I did not expect him at the club this season. I didn't, Adrian. If I was a betting man, I'd have lost everything. I didn't think he'd be here. I remember last he was injured. As soon as Australia called him up, he was fit. That's the other thing. And I was critical of this under Aito Karanka. I ended up having a whatever with Karanka. Stuani never played for a couple of weeks for Middlesbrough. Right away, he went international duty. It was a farce. It was a joke. It was a disgrace. It's an insult to us, borough. Right, I'm sorry if I can't look at any more. I'm being told it's time up. I've overshot the runway. Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry if I didn't read them out. I'll try and jot them down. I'll read them out on Monday in Total BS podcast. Then I'm on the Red Radio on the night. If you want to come on board there, free phone calls, you can phone. Anyway, today's the final summing up of today. Frustrating, not good enough. Have to really up our game for Chris Wilder's coming back to Teesside. I'm sure he's in for a hot reception, good or bad. I expect to see a performance. And if it doesn't come, then there is reason to be really concerned. Thanks again to the sponsors, Heroes and Legends, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Smith and Friends Estate Agents, Galaxy Blinds, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland System Engineering, TGM Cars, Dovecot and Elterville. Thank for your support, your backing. Thank for you for getting involved. I love it. I'm sure you love it. It's like a bit of confessional box. We come on here, we praise, we give a moan, and we give a bit. I keep getting told to do that. Yeah, it's a female, I know. Thank you very much. Cheers up the border. Total Bears Podcast. Trevor Putney, character, Londoner, Jack the Lad, funny as, good stories.